I guess I'll talk a little bit about Mass Effect and how a lot of books basically are doing Mass Effect better than Mass Effect. It's not a very high bar to reach, I don't think, because Mass Effect's influences come from a lot of like 80s cheese and a couple other, you know, kind of tabletop space opera games and a few others. Even I would say a bit of Traveler. And what else was it? Here, let me look it up. What was it? Star Control. That's right. Yeah, because Star Control is pretty interesting. I decided to get the actual Star Control set up, 1 and 2 especially. I think I got 3 on my thing somewhere for Steam. I'd have to take a look again, but the basic setup for any type of Mass Effect setting is a mixture of like planet hopping, discovering old mysteries, dead precursor races, not so dead precursor races, lots of pew pew, a dash of like romance, actual romance, not erotica masquerading about with floating abs everywhere. So yeah, there's all that, but it seems like half the indies out there that are putting out stuff like whew, yeah, a lot of these people are going at a breakneck pace, like at least one book a month, and a lot of times people are teaming up. And I keep seeing Jay and Cheney like almost everywhere, especially when it comes to this thing. Like he's putting out something called Exodus Arc, and basically the blurb is saying sure to satisfy fans of Halo, Mass Effect, Renegade Star, and Starship Troopers. Because you know what, sometimes there are some tropes where people just keep coming back for more, like deadly alien threat attacking your ship while you're in cryostasis. That sort of thing. Even Aeon 14 had a bit of that at one point where when they're having a pit stop at a certain planet and helping out a certain subset of people, again, that's a fun series. I've had a lot of enjoyment from it. Like, it starts off as like more of a traditional, like, half hard sci-fi, half kind of more space opera, a little bit pulp. The first initial trilogy pretty much did remind me of like what would happen if Mass Effect didn't fuck up at the end. Like but some of the more cosmic factor didn't come in until later, especially with against the hyper intelligent ascended AI aspect. It's still interesting series. It's gone in many different directions. Like I said, like it seems like with most of the midline or upper end, indies in terms of overall bulk sales, everybody's teaming up with each other to output at minimum even 2 books a month to stay in the rankings. I guess I could link this below. I mean the cover certainly pops, and it does remind me a bit of Mass Effect. And you know what? Nowadays, it really isn't that hard to top what Mass Effect did. I mean, because it was influenced by other things. And when it comes to my wheelhouse of space opera, yeah, like I was saying, like exploring new worlds, even if it ends up being where it's like a bit tropey in the fact, like the precursor race has to help out everybody else, or is a detriment to everybody else. I mean, there's a whole lot of space opera where I find that fun, no matter how many times I see it. So I guess that does explain why some people just keep going back to the floating ab books over and over again, because for them, that's the wheelhouse they seem to just keep going to endlessly. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, people keep saying like, "Oh, we're not catering to women enough." It's like, no, you guys, man, the book market when it comes to all the erotica, dear God, are they catering to a whole lot of women? It just depends on like the actual setting. Full stop. Not as many women are interested in hard sci-fi or even space opera or things like that. Is it minuscule? I don't think it's as minuscule as people think, but there is something to be said that even looking at my own writing, I enjoy seeing the dynamics between the characters, and even though I enjoy superheroes mashed up with space opera, there is something to be said for, depending on who you are and how you were raised, you focus in on other things. That's why it's important that I read stuff that's outside my wheelhouse every once in a while, so I can see how there's like different ways to do tension or character setups. When it comes to like boots on the ground kind of battles, I take some cues from Weber and other military sci-fi writers where it's like, okay, how do you make this part engaging to where people are having fun with the pew pew? And I think I did a pretty decent job with the opening with Ted Lear and everything. Like when I do actual legitimate battles, whether it's super heroics or otherwise, I don't want it to take pages and pages. I want to be like wham bam, thank you ma'am. So that's the reason why when you see any combat in Uplift Protocol, sometimes it just happens within a couple of lines and boom, like done. Um, and I've also taken some cues from even with Galaxy's Edge, where that's how some of their battles go. Like you get more of a sense of fast moving, fast paced when it comes to the battles. There's still tension, but I don't feel like I have to drone on for pages and pages over it. So there you go. When it comes to my flavor of combat, I don't need an over big explanation. If it's something that somebody's an expert about or something, or I feel like that they have a pretty decent amount of knowledge on it, I guess it coalesces easier into the narrative. That's the reason why I do a little bit of research, and even just again, the best thing you can do is just keep reading stuff that you really love, and then through osmosis you can add it to your own writing style, because not no two people are going to add stuff to their book the same way. You can get influenced by other people, but I don't think you can really truly mimic someone else's style. It ends up like morphing into your own, really, as long as you just keep writing. So there you go. Have a good day, everybody.